This is the J Pitt Show.
I guess we should mention it. Remax sold to Real.
Yeah. Hasn't closed yet.
No,
Hasn't closed yet.
880 million. Supposed to close Q2 or 3.
I
think.
think Q3 at the earliest. I heard by the end of the year.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see if it closes. Obviously, Real's stock took a huge hit while Remax's ran. There's not a lot to be extrapolated from that. It's very basic business. Real is taking on a ton of debt, which Remax had a ton of debt. I've joked that, Real should be very, very pleased, which I think they are, because their like average transactions per agent is going to like more than double as a result of absorbing Remax agents. I mean, that's the thing. Remax has it's an extremely interesting use case because it's a 50-year brand. It is the most recognizable brand in the entire world in our space. They have an albeit aging or aged agent population, but far and away, the most productive, the most educated, the most experienced agents in the industry, and it's not even particularly close. So it seems like maybe just a series of kind of catastrophic business decisions that led to a serious debt situation that really crippled and ultimately put the brand at risk. I mean, we've known about this for some time. I mean, I renewed my franchise agreement in November. I didn't have any serious concern. I knew something like this could happen and actually was quite likely. Didn't know who the buyer was going to be, but just as I assumed, the buyer, well, at least as it's been communicated to us, obviously Real can change their tune on things once it closes. Probably will to a certain extent. That's the way it always goes. But they appear to see the value in the brand. They are doing, or say they're going to do, exactly what I would do if I was doing something similar. Now, obviously, I'm not in a position to buy an $880 million company, but if I was buying scale it down, and I'm buying a company that's a large purchase for me that has a very well-established brand and has certain assets, but also has debt and liability. So I'm taking on debt to buy an asset. Well, I want to protect my investment. I want to ensure that I can service my debt. Right? The easiest way to do that is to keep the company profitable and making money. It's not to pillage and, change and
not to kill another
destroy.
franchise.
They're not buying it to put it out of its misery.
Yeah.
Right? They're buying it to reap the reward of the profit that it's capable of producing.
If Real had Google's company worth, they probably would buy it to do that.
They'd buy it to put competition out of business, but Real is not that kind of player. There is no player like that in our industry, right? Because it's a challenging business. It's a very challenging business, right? And you could listen to any episode of this podcast and probably hear comments about why this industry is really challenging. All I'm saying is I think it provides some unique opportunities for Remax. Not at all worried. Frankly, I've got 4.5 years left on a 5-year contract where nothing can change. And I feel like we're in a unique and very exciting position. I could have went independent 6 months ago and we'd be just fine. Right. I have a lot of reverence for the Remax brand. My father became a Remax agent in 1984, I believe. It's been good to my family. And I don't have any issues with what it is. I don't have any issues with what I pay for what I receive. Maybe I'm different than some brokers in that respect, but we'll be Remax agents for the next 4.5 years. If they change something that I don't like, then I'll attempt to enforce my contract. And if I can't, then we'll move on.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Well, and I know they've said nothing's going to happen to the Remax brand for now, probably a few years. Well, they really said, that they said they're going to keep it the Remax brand forever from what I've read.
Who
Now,
knows?
that probably won't happen. I was just happy to hear I won't have to buy $7,000 worth of new signs immediately.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's the thing. I don't know. Look, I don't want to be a real agent right now. At the same time, I don't have an issue with what they profess to be. I actually can kind of appreciate them for what they are within the space that I'm not necessarily inclined toward. Like the space, by that I mean they're a rev share model. They're a multi-level model. And I don't use that as a pejorative. I'm not saying this is a pyramid scheme, right? That would be pejorative. They are a multi-level rev share model. Rev as in revenue. So what they do is they share a percentage of their revenue generated with their agents as an incentive to recruit, right? And I don't think that's the best way to do residential real estate. Maybe my mind gets changed. I'm open. My mind's open.
Well,
We're going to learn a lot more about them.
If you're going to be bought by anybody, I mean, pretty pleased it was them.
Yeah. I didn't see. I saw a very big cultural clash with KW, which was discussed. I think we maybe even on the show talked about the agent, and he's in my comments, since then taking a victory lap. And I said, buddy, you said it was going to be KW. It's not KW. Like, okay, so Remax got sold. That everybody knew that was coming.
Yeah. Right.
You got crazy debt and you don't generate enough profit to service your debt. Like, it's going to sell. So I don't think the victory lap was appropriate in that situation, and it wasn't KW. And I saw a huge cultural clash there. I didn't see that happening. So who's it going to be beyond that? I mean, the federal government wouldn't approve Anywhere or, Compass, right? Because of their merger. And so it's like, we'll see.
I'm interested to see what technology, I mean,
I don't think you're going to be blown away.
Yeah. I'll probably look at it for a day and see if anything's worth
and
using.
then you're going to go back to doing what you do, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I had this term in my head just today, and I always think about it, simplification. I'll look at the technologies, see if it's simple or can help me, or if it's gonna take more work to learn than
what really
the benefit.
What really pays in this industry is relationships.
Yeah.
Be a good negotiator and be good at creating relationships.